I have traveled the world as Vice President of the United States, and world leaders are laughing at Donald Trump.
Everything that she believed 3 years ago and 4 years ago is out the window. She's going to my philosophy now. In fact, I was going to send her a MAGA hat.
Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump meet for their first presidential debate. We have a recap. And SpaceX launches 4 astronauts into space for a historic mission. The Morning Rundown starts now.
From the Straight Arrow News Studio, bringing the stories that matter to you from across the United States and around the world. This is the Morning Rundown.
Today is Wednesday, September 11th. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kara Rucker. We'll start with a recap of the first and potentially only debate between Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump. The two presidential candidates were asked questions on the following issues and more: the economy, abortion, immigration, January 6th, and the wars in Gaza and Ukraine.
I imagine and have actually a plan to build what I call an opportunity economy.
We have inflation like very few people have ever seen before, probably the worst in our nation's history.
The government, and Donald Trump certainly, should not be telling a woman what to do with her body.
Excuse me, I have to respond. Another lie. It's another lie. I have been a leader on IVF.
Following a handshake, the candidates went head-to-head for about 90 minutes in Philadelphia, trying to win over any voters who were left undecided less than 2 months away from Election Day. While some moments were about policy, others were not.
And what you will also notice is that people start leaving his rallies early out of exhaustion and boredom.
People don't go to her rallies. There's no reason to go. And the people that do go, she's bussing them in and paying them to be there.
I have traveled the world as Vice President of the United States, and world leaders are laughing at Donald Trump.
Everything that she believed 3 years ago and 4 years ago is out the window. She's going to my philosophy now. In fact, I was going to send her a MAGA hat.
After the back and forth throughout the debate, the candidates each continued to make their case and claimed victory. The Harris campaign posting on X the debate was fun and to do it again in October. While Trump posted on Truth Social saying he thought it was, quote, my best debate ever, especially because it was 3-on-1, a reference to the 2 ABC News moderators. Fox News has reportedly sent out an invite to both candidates, inviting them for a round 2 on their network. Making the news right after the debate wrapped up, the Harris Walls ticket received a major celebrity endorsement, with Taylor Swift posting on social media her support for the Democratic ticket, saying Harris fights for the rights and causes she believes in, signing her post as Childless Cat Lady, a reference to comments made by Trump's running mate, Senator J.D. Vance, years ago. Swift has previously been vocal in her support for Democrats in elections at the local and presidential level. Swift encouraged her 280 million followers to do their research and that the choice is theirs. Today marks 23 years since the 9/11 terror attacks in New York, Washington, D.C., and Pennsylvania that killed nearly 3,000 people. Remembrance events are being held all across the country, and that includes on the campaign trail, with both presidential candidates commemorating the tragic day in our nation's history. Vice President Harris and former President Trump are both scheduled to visit Ground Zero in New York today. Harris, who will be paying her respects alongside President Joe Biden, will also visit the Flight 93 National Memorial in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, and the Pentagon. After Trump visits Ground Zero, he's set to visit a fire station in New York City before also traveling to Shanksville. The Federal Aviation Administration is investigating after a Delta Airlines plane clipped the tail of another aircraft at the world's busiest airport on Tuesday. Both planes were on the tarmac at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport in Atlanta, taxiing for takeoff when it happened. One of the planes had its wingtip severed from the aircraft in the incident. No one was hurt, but both planes were damaged and passengers had to get off. Louisiana residents are hunkering down as Hurricane Francine, now a Category 1 storm, is expected to make landfall there later today. It's expected to bring life-threatening storm surge and dangerous winds with it. Meteorologists say the storm is still gaining strength and is likely to turn into a Category 2 before making landfall in Louisiana, then moving north into Mississippi. However, they also expect Francine to weaken quickly as it moves inland. Finally, this morning, SpaceX launched 4 astronauts into space on Tuesday for one historic mission.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition. And go Falcon, go Polaris.
Copy, 1 Alpha.
The Dragon capsule lifted off from NASA's Kennedy Space Center, carrying a billionaire entrepreneur who is financing the trip, along with a retired Air Force pilot and 2 SpaceX engineers. The foursome is set to conduct the first spacewalk by private citizens. It took about 9.5 minutes for the capsule to reach orbit, with the crew batting around a toy to show zero gravity. A few minutes later, the capsule separated from its support trunk, revealing a spectacular view of the Earth from the onboard cameras. The spacewalk is scheduled for Thursday, day 3 of the 5-day mission, and is expected to last about 20 minutes. These are your top stories for this Wednesday. And before we go, I want to share some big news. Some changes are coming to the Morning Rundown. Starting this coming Monday, September 16th, the Morning Rundown is getting a new name, Unbiased Updates. There will also be a new face behind the desk. Craig Negrelli, an experienced journalist, will be taking over in the morning to host Unbiased Updates. Every Monday through Friday, you can still expect the same consistent, fact-focused information you've come to expect from us. And as for me, I'll still be here bringing you important stories throughout the week, continuing the mission just on a new schedule. There's more exciting things to come here at SAN, so please stay tuned. We're excited for this new chapter, and we hope you'll stay with us on the journey. I'm Kara Rucker. I hope you have a great day.